If you're born on 7th, 16th, or 25th, then you're ruled by the planet Ketu. And in this video, we are going to understand like how your Ketu energies are going to work with the energies of the year 2024, which is ruled by the planet Saturn, and what you can expect this year, or what is the advice or guidance that you need. We are going to be looking into your analysis first numerologically, and then I'll also pull out few tarot cards for you. Now I have my notes written on my laptop, and that is the device on which I'm recording on. So if at any point during the video you see my eyes hovering, that is because I'm referencing to the notes. Now let's first understand Ketu. What is Ketu? Ketu is spirituality. Ketu is detachment. Ketu is going into the depth to seek an answer, which means that such people also do extremely well in the fields of research. Ketu is also reasoning and logic, and that's why one wants to go to the depth of any question just to find that what is the reason why this exists. Ketu is also liberation. Ketu is also intention, and Ketu is also someone who is to an extent dependent on people around, or somebody who seeks a mentor or a guide in their life. And now, what is Saturn? Saturn is hard work, Saturn is sacrifice, Saturn is your karam, Saturn is being in the world to learn your lesson, to pay off your debts, to receive the good karmic credit. So Saturn is about being out there in the world, and Ketu is I want to stay alone, I want to stay away from everything, I just want to be within myself and find the deeper answers to life. What do you think will happen when these two energies combine? I'll tell you. Saturn then goes to this Ketu person and says that I'll give you what you want. I know you have a lot of desires and I will give you, but do you deserve it? And this is where number 7 has to show, both with the intention which is already there, but also with the execution, that yes, I deserve it. So this becomes a year where you're entering a period of connecting your inner self with execution towards the outer world. This is not a period where you can stay detached into yourself or only focus on yourself, because now Saturn is going to try to teach you the value of people in your life, how to keep the right people in your life closer, and also will take off the mask of the wrong people in your life. So this means, since you like detachment so much, be very prepared to let go of certain people in your life, especially friends who are not right for you. And it will be hurtful initially for sure, but towards the end of the year you would realize that how this has actually worked out for your good. Another very important thing that you are going to learn this year is that any work that you do with detachment, with a lot of complaining or cribbing mindset, thinking that why do I have to do this, because a part of you wants to leave everything and just focus on yourself, finding more answers, becoming maybe somewhat of a philosopher or a researcher of the big questions of life. So if you constantly question why it is that I have to do what I have to do, and you're still doing it, that means you're in a complaining mindset. And this year Saturn is asking you that you have to love hard work, you have to love what you do. If you're always that person who always thought that, oh, I just want to maybe run off in the hills, have like a little small business there and just chill in life, no, that is detachment. That is you just wanting to be in your zone around the nature. That is your Ketu talking. But we are in the period of Saturn, which is going to tell you that you have to learn the hard work by staying in and around people. You have to learn from them, you have to persevere, you have to be more diligent and more consistent with your efforts. Which also means that if you are someone who prefers shortcuts to doing away the work, it's not going to work anymore. All your shortcuts will be caught immediately, your shortcuts are going to be reprimanded. Instead, this year you're going to learn that you also need to take responsibility, and you need to take responsibility from a healthy, from a loving space. So not only you will not be able to run away from responsibility, but at the same time you will not be able to complain about responsibility this year. This is also the year where you need to strengthen your willpower, because you will need lots of it in the coming year. So it's important that you maybe start training your mind right now how to strengthen your willpower, bring more courage towards your own life, towards the actions that you need to take for your own life. Also, you might get drawn to a lot of other different spiritual practices. You might get drawn to reading a lot about religion, going into depths into understanding. You might pick up books from a lot of different religion texts. If you're just doing it for the fun of it and just to understand something more, that is your Ketu. I would tell you not to disturb it, continue at it. But if you're trying to find something that suits you, then I would say don't be a spiritual tourist. Instead, try to stick to one practice this year. Spiritual tourism is again what your Ketu teaches you, which is that it wants to know everything, find everything, and hence maybe reach to one conclusion. And of course, for that, sometimes 1 year is not enough. But Saturn is structure, Saturn is discipline, Saturn is tradition, Saturn is literally parampara, which means that if you find one thing that you stick to this year and continue to make it your spiritual practice, you don't have to worry, because if you know anything about spirituality, that one practice is going to lead you to where your path is. You could experience lack of clarity this year. If you know the story of Rahu and Ketu, then you must know that Ketu is a headless body, which means that the ability to think is going to be a little bit too foggy this year. Meaning you would feel that yes, I'm progressing ahead, I'm moving with my body, but then I'm not clear on where I'm going. And that is again why bringing a more structured routine, having a clear goal or a vision board to know that okay, these are the only three things that I need to achieve this year, is going to help you. Every few months, try and go to travel to some place, because traveling is what is going to recuperate you and also keep you grounded in your householder life. Travel will make you come back into your householder life more refreshed, more energized, and ready to take on the responsibilities and everything that comes with the householder life more strongly. This also becomes a year of truly knowing yourself, especially healing a lot from your childhood traumas, understanding your life more. Now, when we start understanding our life more, and hey, you're watching this video alone, right? It's just you and me here, which also means that you understand your mistakes, you understand where you went wrong, and not just where you have been wronged. So, you would have to confront yourself a lot this year. And that's why this also becomes the strongest year for this particular number of paying off your karmic debts. Whatever you have been doing wrong, be prepared to pay for the karmic debts this year. Whatever you have done good to other people, be prepared for that to come to you. So, what goes around comes around is going to be your theme for this year. One very important advice that I would give you, that research needs to be your center point of doing anything this year. Don't start off anything without proper research, and read any paper that you have to sign. Take strong legal advice before signing any documents. I would not say this is the year where you should be investing in something new, and if you have to, then I would just say that read the document very carefully. Coming on to your relationships for this year, this is a year of letting go of friendships. This is the year where the masks of a lot of people are going to come off. And if you have been that person yourself, then your mask is also going to come off this year. Saturn is going to force you to show your true side, which means that this becomes a year of going much more deeper into understanding also what you seek in your friendships, in your romantic life, in your family life. If you're someone who's in a relationship or who's already married, you might demand some sort of space from your partner. And unfortunately, Saturn instead would be teaching you, because you have always demanded space from your partner. If you're number 7, you're always someone who wants to be first into their own life, want to be slightly detached, and you may be someone who likes time to time taking space from your partner. And that's why this year Saturn comes with its stick and it teaches you that no, you need to happily accept the responsibilities of home, happily accept the responsibilities of relationships, of your partner, your spouse, and it teaches you that going solo, flying solo in your life is not cutting it anymore. You need to be a part of the community. And this year is also the year when I'll teach you who your true real people are, so you would realize a lot about people who have not been true to you. And this also might be a conflict then throughout the year, that a part of you wants to detach, but then Saturn is pulling you in. I would say this is a year where you should give in to the advances, give in to what Saturn seeks from you, so that you're not adding more onto your karma. Coming down to your health, what is Ketu? Ketu is this constant feeling of void. Ketu is restlessness. Ketu is neediness. Ketu is someone who's just going out demanding more because it's somebody without head, so it needs support of people. Okay, and because of which you will have a lot of things on your mind this year. uh, but at the center of it, there would just be this constant feeling of being hollow inside, as if you're not feeling anything too strongly. And also because this is the year of Saturn. Saturn also, to an extent, is a planet that likes to stay aloof, that likes to be lonely by choice. So both these energies are going to combine together, and you're going to just feel this constant sense of void in you. And when that happens, there might be small moments where we may have like bigger outbursts, where we suddenly feel that no, we want to be understood. And that is why having a healthy outlet throughout this year is going to be very important. Journaling or writing down your thoughts, having somebody to talk to like a therapist would also be very, very helpful to you. People who carry the number 7 have a perpetual habit anyway of staying low in their life. They like to stay more in their sorrowful mindset. They like to celebrate the melancholy of life a little bit more. But on the contrary, what people of this number don't know is that this is a great number for manifestation. But more on that, I'll come up on it later. Uh, Now, coming down to your career, do not lend or borrow money this year from external sources, especially even if it comes to your relatives. I would say that this is a year where you stay a little bit careful about any sort of money transactions. But it is a great year to start something in import or export, or do some work connected to foreign and abroad. This is also the year to just continue doing what you're doing more. Do not focus a lot on new opportunities. Just do what you're doing, because this year is the year to streamline your attitude, your mindset towards the work that you're doing. And growth, opportunities, more money will come as a byproduct of when you streamline things, when you put a structure to how you do your work and what you seek from your work. And like I said, having a vision with 3 goals that you want to achieve this year is going to become very important. Manifestation is also something that just doesn't require thinking right, but also efforts. And Saturn will give you enough opportunities to show your efforts this year. But unless you have a clear vision and willpower and courage to continue with it, it's going to be a problem. Now, this is also the year when you can find support or a mentor or a spiritual guru if you have been wanting to find one for a very long time. And I would say learn to accept the support that comes to you, because we both know that deep down you have been asking for it. This is also the year when I would tell you to stay a little away from religion and try to go more towards spirituality. Saturn might force you into becoming more dogmatic or seeking things more from a traditional point of view, but then this is where I would say stay more true to your Ketu energies and instead chase spirituality. Now, I have a couple of remedies here listed for you. First of all, this year, wherever you have to write the date, if it's possible, if it's not a very official document, do not write 2024. Instead, write 24. That way, you're going to be bringing in a little bit of Venus energies into your life, and that is going to be more helpful. Focus a little bit more on personal healing this year. Either wear howlite on your hands or in your neck, or take therapy, or do journaling, or do self talk, but healing yourself, your traumas, your root causes of how you are, and what defines your emotions is going to be very important this year. Travel frequently if you can, Every few months, take a 2-3 day short break. That would really help you. This is also the year of fixing your own karma. Too much detachment would come back and bite you someplace. So this is the year where you put more love into whatever you do, even if it's responsibilities towards your family or responsibilities towards your work. uh, be prepared to let go of people that have not been true to you this year. Find one spiritual practice that you can stick to. If possible, doing one mala of mantra jap, either of Om Namah Shivaya or Om Ganpataya Namaha, would be really helpful. And lastly, meditation or yoga is an absolute this year. If you can, download this app called Headspace. They have very short meditations of even 3 minutes. And if you could just sit down and meditate every day just for 5 minutes, it's really going to be a game changer for you. So that was your numerology analysis, and now we will look into your tarot analysis. So I have your tarot cards now here with me. And one thing that I would want to tell you is definitely happening for you this year is there are going to be more opportunities coming your way. But the problem is that your Ketu self being shadowed by Saturn is going to be in a very reclusive, introspective, hermit like mode. You would be thinking a lot about your life up until now, what has happened, why it has happened, your own actions, actions of others, a very, very deep introspective state, okay? Which means that because you would be going through this, there are bigger periods where you would feel emotionally disconnected from people around you. You would feel like there is a void. Your mind, body, and soul will not be aligned. But that is also the advice. You need to have all the three elements, your mind, body, soul, in alignment, so that you have the energy that is needed to move past this year and to also take in the opportunities that the year brings you. That is why traveling every few days, sticking to one spiritual practice and doing meditation is really going to help your mind in staying in connect with its body, with the world around us, and take on opportunities that are going to come your way. This might also be a great year when you might actually end up accumulating more wealth. You might saving quite a lot this year. But another message that I'm getting is that you may have to part with a little bit of money in case you're starting something new. Now I know in my numerology analysis I said maybe do not start something new this year, but I feel as if some of you would by force have to, not really like by out of choice, it's something that will just happen maybe a little bit seamlessly. You might have to start something new, or you might be thinking if I should start this or not. And what I feel is that you could be lacking a little bit of courage now. You could be lacking a little bit of strength or willpower to continue or to think even about of starting something new. Small steps, baby steps, starting small and then expanding it could be a good advice for you this year. Is something that you might have to follow. So even if you start something new, don't go all in it completely with investments or anything. Just focus on structure. Small efforts, baby steps would be good. Also, even what you are doing currently and even to continue with it, it would be advisable if you could bring a little bit more structured thinking and planning into what you do. And that way you would see that not only you're saving a lot of money, but right opportunities are coming to you. And this is also a year where you need to be a little bit more in the playful energy, because Ketu is like a very deep, heavy planet, and the energy of Saturn is also going to be just throwing obstacles on your way, throwing challenges. Whenever you get into the hermit Ketu mode, Saturn would bring you out into the world and be like, but there are things that we have to do. So all this might get very overwhelming, and that's why it's important that you stay a little bit in a childlike energy this year. You see the lighter side of life, you see the brighter side of life, And also I do feel a lot of inner child issues from your childhood trauma is going to crop up this year, and you might have to figure healthy way of combating it and moving past it to be truly in your power. Now, one thing that I have here as the bottom of the deck energy is Two of Cups. I think if you're single, you might at the heart of it crave a relationship, and this is where being more in touch with your true self will help you understand that where is your detachment coming from. If you're always conflicted about, oh, do I want love, do I not want love, that's one thing. If you are in a relationship, I would tell you to strengthen your relationship with your partner this year. This is going to be an important year where you need to invest more into the relationship with your partner and build a solid foundation together. You need to infuse more love into your responsibility and your relationship with your spouse. Now, the last three cards that I have, actually last four cards that I have for you here is first, surrender to the wisdom of your body. If you go through periods, and like we said, because you're going to be in that state of being hollow, feeling a void, it might take a toll on your body as well. So when you feel drained, accept that you're feeling drained and figure out ways of energizing yourself before you get back to work or to your life. Surrender to joy, which is completely in tandem with the Fool card here, that it's not about just being so serious, taking everything at such a serious big answers, big questions of life sort of value. Time to be a little bit more playful with your energy. And it's interesting because here in the bottom of the deck, the card that we have, which is Two of Cups, it's also dolphins. Dolphins also signify playful energy. Time to be a lot more playful in love with your partner. So that's the other message that I have for you. The last message that I have for you is surrender fear. This, I am thinking that, at least what I think is numerologically and tarot wise, like if I connect both the messages, there might also be some sort of subconscious fears arising in your life. You might feel that suddenly I'm not feeling as strong on my willpower or the courage that I used to have, and that's why you need to surrender your fears of change, of anything going wrong, even the fact that you cannot let go certain people from your life, fearing that, oh, I'll be left lonely. You need to let go of those fears. Okay, you just need to be in the moment and find the right things for you. And lastly, surrender defensiveness. I'll just read this out to you. You take it however it seems fit, because it's just something that in case you at a personal level tend to feel that you get very defensive in relationships, especially when it comes to responsibilities that life has brought on you. And if you are ever called out for something or told off for something and you tend to feel defensive, then maybe this message might be for you. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in an empowered way, stay centered. Hear the other person out and then offer a clear response which does not sound defensive. So maybe in terms of your communication, this is just something you need to work upon this year. So yep, that was it, my number 7. Let me know how the reading resonated. If any part of it felt like it was resonating or something that you want to come true, please do comment below and let me know. Thank you. Bye.